you rush theirs and protect yours. Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it for.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bengals take over, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield. Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Here's Burrow. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 3rd and 10. Now Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Hurts. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On the option left, it's Hurts. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down at 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jahan Dotson, 26 yards. And the Eagles have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's Hudson. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And they go play action now. Burrow. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Open man is Yoshivas. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Chase. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Forced out to his, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow, a 5-yard touchdown run, and the Bengals have regained the lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Joe Burrow who took it himself for the touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder? Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 2. Burrow on play action. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now back to throw. That is caught. Able to slither by. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. An inside give, Brown. Reed Blankenship delivering the hit.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals 1st down as he'll get this down to the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. How about the 1st quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. Quick throw there is incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Burrow looking to pass. And that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, good start for him in this one here in the 1st quarter, and he's now 2 for 2 on field goals.
And I know while the offensive coaches are telling their guys, hey, let's leave the kicker out of it unless it's an extra point, this could pay dividends if this game is tight down the stretch. His confidence is going to be sky high if they need him for a big-time kick.
And able to get this out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard, and he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense and Jamar Chase set to take over once more. And what a start he's off to. You don't want to start prorating numbers out for 4 quarters, but it's fair to say this defense is going to have to find some way to slow him down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. From the gun, a give to Brown. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down and 3. Now Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, he'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow spotting T. Higgins for the touchdown there, as his guys are able to extend their lead. The quarterback stayed in the pocket. He got licked for it, but it paid off. Touchdown.
Talk about a true strength throw. People wrapped around him, taking a hit, and still has the ability to get it downfield for a touchdown pass. Phenomenal.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Well, now how about this return? Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sam Hubbard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He's got Smith here. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Milton Williams able to get in there and drop him behind the line.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now it's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshivas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Now it's Burrow.
Open man, that's Gesicki down the field.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll set up to throw.
Now Burrow loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw here.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's caught. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Bengals are able to stretch out their lead.
And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing is Hurts.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's Hurts to throw.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down. Barkley, inside handoff. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 5.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. But he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Out left to Dotson.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Now Hurts going to keep it running left.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Throwing on 2nd down.
Hurts.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles get a bit closer.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
This is Brown going up the middle. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Burrow will throw. This pass complete to Higgins. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here comes third and the length of the football.
To the air again, Burrow.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Here's Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Again, it's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now Burrow. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Burrow looking to pass. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Andre Yoshivas from 3 yards out. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
McPherson on for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
The Bengals got a strong performance in that first half by Joey B. Their quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's over 300 yards passing already as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They will toss to Brown. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now it's Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Third and 5.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. He's got a man, complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's a give to Brown. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Chase Brown
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hurts.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Looking to throw on second down. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Slot man moves right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here's Williams to return. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Play action. It's Burrow.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now it's Burrow. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. They give it to Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And able to steer clear of that first tackler as he works his way forward for about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Right back to Brown.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And now they will throw it with Burrow.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Looking to throw.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals just continue to roll. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
Sam Hubbard able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Up the middle with Barkley. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
That one caught by all, the tight end.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. On the handoff, this is Brown.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 4.
He'll drop to throw. Open man is Higgins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this team...
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Burrow will throw. This will be caught by Brown. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, a one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Escaping the pressure. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was Joe Burrow who took it himself for the touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He's got Smith here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Throwing is Hurts.
That is caught. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Hurts fumbles it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. They're going to look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's complete right back. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing is... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Barkley is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. Well, now hang on here because Saquon Barkley is in some discomfort, so we're going to have a pause here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Another run for Brown on second down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here is 3rd and 5.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9.
An inside give, Brown. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Third down, here's Brown.
Past the 20, 5, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Chase Brown
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking here for Smith downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll look to throw again. It's complete to Brown, right side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Hurts. Throw out wide is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? If we shut you down, they're over on the bench right now feeling great.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 5. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. They're passing here. Joe Burrow flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots. And right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Andre Yoshivas, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. McPherson on for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score.
after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense back out getting set for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith, 72 yards. And the Eagles are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
They defer to Brown to start the drive.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Here's Burrow.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal 1st down. And that's going to do it. With that last throw, he surpasses Norm Van Brocklin's mark of 554 passing yards in one game, set more than 70 years ago, way back in 1951. Well, he's had help from his offensive line and his receivers, but this has been an incredible individual performance. On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Jalen Carter in on that tackle.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's 3rd and 9.
From midfield now, Burrow.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense.
He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better. This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
3rd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Complete. Smith has it.
And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles first down as he'll get this down inside the 35.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again.
Goes right back to Smith again.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Philly.
Evan McPherson has this one teed up,
and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over.
They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They go play action with Burrow. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And they give to Brown on the option. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And able to get this out to the 25. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. They'll get this down to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 38, Hurts. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Throwing is Hurts. And it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it.
Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd down and 6 now.
This is Brown going up the middle. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd and 4.
In motion, the tight end. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Milton Williams
In there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia.
That's taken at around the 40. 47-yard punt, a return of 4.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Now 2nd and 3.
Back to throw here.
Out left to Dotson. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
Was certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now back to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Jake Elliott readies for the field goal try. He was originally drafted by the Bengals. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
They'll send the tight end in motion. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
From the gun, a give to Brown.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Another run for Brown on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Now Burrow. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. 3-3, a tight one after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
The slot man in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. Burrow looking to pass. Throw left side complete to Chase. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Here's a give to Brown. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Brown once more. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals have taken the lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
In motion right is Smith.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Quick slant here to Smith. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a first and goal.
Hurts.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts over the middle, complete. That's Smith. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. He's got it. Touchdown.
Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch.
From the 35, here's second down and a yard.
Now it's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Second and 6.
Here's Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Burrow on play action. And that is incomplete.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Here's Ryan Rico now as he'll kick it away for the second time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Braden Mann now
as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
They'll throw. This pass complete to Higgins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 2.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Chase the motion man right.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Burrow now off the bootleg. Oh, it stays up. Incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3?
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
To the sideline and incomplete.
4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they will take the lead at 13-10. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
Sam Hubbard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
From the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Throwing is Hurts. Steps up. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
They're going to look to throw.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge, maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out, you can run wide receiver routes with him, you can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll show the defense.
The Eagles going to take the first and then timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. But the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Here, it was the always dangerous Saquon Barkley with the impressive first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshibas. Here now a 3rd down and 8. Now Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Well, the Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 5. In motion left comes Brown. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They'll look to throw. Well, he's going to look downfield for Barkley. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now 2nd and 5. Now it's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now it's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshivas. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Burrow looking to pass. It connects quickly to Jamar Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as a tackle made up at the 48-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And Burrow going to throw again. Throw left side complete to Chase. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Burrow will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have retaken a 3rd-quarter lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And out now come the Eagles.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 5.
Again, it's Barkley. Skirts by him at the 35. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
85 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Throw right side complete to Dotson.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Hurts.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
2nd down and 3.
Back to throw again.
Out left to Dotson.
Well, that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He's got Smith here.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. Four yards remain on second down. Ball on the 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 5.
And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Barkley will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man is Higgins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 1. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Second and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a second and short. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one good for 33 and a first. You got to give him the football again here. He gets the big run down to the 2. Pay it off.
I like it. I like the call, but here's always the question. How many times do we see the big runs and a guy pats his helmet and says, take me out? Why would you go out when you've got a chance to get it again and score?
Brown trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try and run it in with Brown. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen, ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing is Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Being chased out left. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game, 1st and 10 here. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Brown goes in motion left. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent gain.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. On the option left, it's Hurts. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
And if you're keeping an eye on the box score, that last run puts him over the 100-yard mark for the game. And this defense has just had all sorts of trouble trying to keep him under wraps, both passing and running.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Sam Hubbard getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bengals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now it's Burrow.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. An inside give, Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
And he's got a Bengals 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. The offense on third down, they've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Well, with his size, you've really got to wrap up because arm tackles, they're not going to cut it. And that time, he used his full-grown man strength to fight off his defender and pick up the first down.
Play action. It's Burrow. That one caught by all, the tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free.